Welcome back to our First Alert Weather Special. Wild winter, lasting impacts.
Our storms really put California's infrastructure to the test, particularly the state's aging levee system. In Monterey County, it was a levee breach that led to the major flooding in the small farming town of Pajaro. The community is now trying to clean up the mess left behind, but they still have quite a long way to go. The failed levee was actually scheduled to be strengthened just next year. Lawmakers are now asking the Army Corps of Engineers to expedite the repairs. And in Sacramento County, a number of levees breached along the Cosumnes River, flooding low-lying areas, even a freeway. Some experts say our existing infrastructure just isn't designed with the current climate in mind.
The storms also ripped up our roads. You might remember this massive sinkhole. That was on Highway 92. That's on the peninsula. Wow. And the drivers on 680 probably had some costly repairs. The relentless rains led to potholes, slides, closures. Caltrans estimates there are about $640 million in road damage up and down the entire state.
And we've already talked about those intense winds that brought down so many power lines and poles. PG&E estimates since the start of the year, it has replaced almost 6,000 power poles and more than 900 miles of line. That's more than the distance from San Francisco to Los Angeles and back. Crews also removed almost 14,000 trees that damaged the power grid infrastructure.
So how can we better understand and track these atmospheric rivers? NOAA has a special team dedicated to studying these systems, and we got a look aboard one of their jets. This crew conducts 8-hour missions over the Pacific and drops special sensors into the storms to measure wind speed, temperature, pressure, and even other data. That information will help scientists understand how these storms develop. And I want to show you this. I'm a pilot for the California Army National Guard, and on a recent flight, I got a look at the impact from all of the storms from above. And look at these snow-capped mountains out in the Sierra. The question now, will all of the moisture in the ground even make a difference when it comes to our fire season? Our Mary Lee takes a look.
It's incredible to see how green all of our Bay Area hills are right now after so many atmospheric rivers, which have also gotten us out of our drought. I spent the day with fire weather research graduate students at San Jose State University to find out what all of this rain means for the upcoming wildfire season. Grad students Maritza and Mark are loading up their fire weather lab truck and getting ready for their field research. They're a part of San Jose State's Wildfire Interdisciplinary Research Center, and they're letting me come along for the ride.
We are going up to our fuel sampling site on Mount Umunum, which is in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Every 2 weeks, you can find Maritza and Mark driving up these winding, bumpy roads overlooking stunning green hills.
I have been doing this for quite a long time, since 2016, since I was an undergrad in university.
An hour later, we reached the top of Mount Umunum.
So right now we're going on our way to the site, the Umunum site where we fuel sample. It's a lot more green. There's a lot more plants around.
Maritza and Mark are measuring the moisture content in these plants. The more moisture, the harder it will be for them to catch fire. They're especially interested in chamise and manzanita plants, which grow abundantly here in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Back at San Jose State University, they weigh the plants, then put them in the oven for 24 hours to dry them out, calculating the difference to get the moisture content.
The average fuel moisture content is way higher in comparison to the last 3 years. When we were looking at the graphs. Hopefully it stays that way, but to be determined.
Last month, the moisture content in these Santa Cruz Mountain plants, more than 90 to over 100%. But Maritza warns it doesn't take long for these plants to dry out quickly.
If we didn't get rain for a lot of days, like if it was like really, really hot, like a heat wave, I would say maybe a week. It could get to dangerous levels.
So while our Bay Area hills look lush and green with so much vegetation now, they likely won't stay this way. Drying out in the heat this summer, quickly turning into highly flammable fuels, which could mean an extreme wildfire season to come.
Mary tells us the latest samples from the Santa Cruz Mountains show plants are already starting to lose their moisture, dropping between 10 and 26% in just 2 weeks.